Senator Leonard.
Senator Maroney.
Great, take a seat.
Thank you.
I was actually just going over the final provisions for our bill tomorrow.
Good, that's what I was here to talk about. I just wanted to make sure that we're both on the same page.
Great, so let's start with the tasks. The first one is to establish requirements about development and deployment of AI. The second one is to make an artificial intelligence advisory council. The third is to prevent spreading of certain AI images. The fourth is to eliminate deceptive election media. And the fifth is to make state agencies study potential AI uses and propose initial projects.
Those all sound great, but I think we should go over the ones from my office too. Are we still planning to make the Commissioner of Administrative Services provide training to the workforce? We should also make the Board of Regents for Higher Education create Connecticut Citizens AI Academy and certificate programs for fields in AI. And finally, make the Department of Economic and Community Development create a plan for CT AI Symposium, developing a plan to offer high-performance computing services and establish a confidential computing cluster.
Yeah, that's what I had as well.
Our constituents have pushed for this for so long, and I think it definitely holds a lot of merit. My only concern is that I think Republicans in the Senate will probably argue that this bill will impact businesses, and it's just too early to be making a decisive bill with so many direct implications.
In any case, we'll see what the Joint Committee thinks. Secretary, send the final copy of the bill to the Clerk of the House of the sponsoring legislator for numbering, please.
The Joint Committee on General Law will now come into order. Today, we will be discussing Senate Bill 2 concerning the development, deployment, and regulation of artificial intelligence in Connecticut. We have several tasks before us regarding this bill, including drafting it in real language, combining it with other bills, referring it to another committee, or taking no action. Additionally, we may consider drafting a new raised committee bill. We'll begin by hearing from Senator Maroney, the sponsor of the bill. Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairperson and members of the committee. Senate Bill 2 addresses critical areas in the development and regulation of artificial intelligence. As you know, it includes establishing requirements for AI deployment, along with creating an artificial intelligence advisory council, among other things. This bill is a comprehensive approach to ensuring that Connecticut stays at the forefront of AI technology while protecting our citizens and our businesses. I strongly urge the committee to consider the merits of this bill and move it forward in the legislative process.
Thank you, Senator Maroney. We will now be opening the floor to public hearings. We have a list of speakers beginning with Daniel O'Keefe, the Commissioner for the Department of Economic and Community Development.
Good morning. The Department of Economic and Community Development supports Senate Bill 2, as it will foster innovation and economic growth in the state. By creating an AI symposium and providing high-tech computer services, we can attract top businesses to Connecticut.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Keefe. Next, we will be hearing from Senator Ryan Fazio.
While I understand the need for regulation, I'm worried about the impacts on small businesses. The compliance costs can be significant and it can actually hinder innovation. This is why I think the committee should consider these impacts carefully.
Thank you, Senator Fazio. We will take your concerns into account. Are there any questions from the committee members? I have a question for Senator Maroney. Senator, I think that Senator Fazio makes a good point. How does the bill address the potential burden on small businesses?
Thank you for the question, Representative Anderson. The bill actually includes provisions for state-funded training and support programs to help small businesses comply with the new regulations without bearing the full cost themselves.
If there are no further questions, we will now discuss next steps. We have several options, as I mentioned earlier, but due to the complexity and importance of this bill, I suggest that we draft the bill in legal language and prepare it for further review. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We will draft Senate Bill 2 in legal language and prepare for next steps. Thank you, everyone. The Joint Committee meeting is adjourned. First on the agenda, we have Senate Bill 2 regarding artificial intelligence.
Majority Leader Duff, I move that the Senate should vote to pass Senate Bill 2 and move it to the House for further consideration.
All right, Senator Maroney. Are there any objections to this? Governor Lamont, what is it?
Yeah, I object to this. The bill would require significant funding to implement the various initiatives such as the AI Academy, the AI Symposium, and high-performance computing services. This will strain state budgets and lead to increased taxes. Also, it will hinder the growth of the AI industry in Connecticut. Excessive regulation might discourage startups and tech companies from operating in the state.
Thank you, Governor. Senator Harding?
If I may, I agree with Governor Lamont. Even though preventing deceptive AI-generated media in elections is intended to safeguard democracy, I believe this is an overreach and blatant censorship, infringing on the First Amendment right to free speech.
Let's put this to a vote.
God, I can't believe the vote was that close and that we had to pass it over Governor Lamont's objections.
I know, but now we just have to send it to the House. I'm still really hopeful for this bill.
If the artificial intelligence bill somehow clears the House of Representatives, I will veto it. I think that Connecticut is better off working with the Council of other states in addressing the fast-changing AI landscape.
Governor, why do you feel this approach is better?
Senator Maroney has been incredibly diligent on this issue, but we don't want 50 states each doing their own thing. I'm not convinced Connecticut should be the first. We're just beginning to understand AI's potential, and it's tough to regulate something that's still emerging.
So will you be looking to collaborate with other states?
Yes, I believe we should be collaborating with states like Colorado. Governor Polis is already looking at how AI could potentially benefit government services. We don't need a law for that. We're already doing it.
Hey, Governor Lamont. Hello? Hello? Yes, Senator Maroney. I was wondering if you saw the 60 Minutes interview with Ned Lamont about SB2. Yes, I'm disappointed. We're missing the opportunity to lead as a state in AI. Businesses want predictability, and we've worked hard to provide a clear roadmap. I'm going to pay a visit to Senate Minority Leader Harding's office later today.
With the governor's opposition, it is unlikely that the AI bill will reach the floor for debate. The legislative session is almost over, and we have a ton on our plate.
House Speaker Ritter, do you think there's any chance of the bill being debated during this legislative session?
At this point, it's unlikely. We need more time to address all of the complexities that are involved. I'm sorry, but I can't take any more questions, as I'm planning to pay a visit to Minority Leader Harding. Thank you. Come in.
Senator Harding. My name is Senator Maroney. We met during the joint committee meeting.
Nice to see you again, Senator.
Senator Harding, I strongly urge you to reconsider Senate Bill 2. We have support from major companies like Google and Microsoft. This bill provides certainty for businesses and positions Connecticut as a leader in AI.
I'm telling you that I agree with Governor Lamont. Connecticut should not be going this alone, and we need to wait to work with other states on this issue. Can I come in?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, I couldn't help but eavesdrop. But I'm really thinking that with the governor's veto threat and the session ending soon, we have to be realistic about our priorities. This bill isn't making it to the floor. Good evening. I'm Pierce,
And I'm Ryan.
and welcome to CT News. Tonight, we focus on a crucial piece of legislation currently under consideration in Connecticut, Senate Bill 2.
This bill could propel Connecticut to the forefront of the national stage, dealing with the rapidly evolving landscape of artificial intelligence.
Senate Bill 2, championed by a bipartisan coalition, aims to establish comprehensive guidelines and support structures for the development and deployment of AI technologies within the state.
Advocates argue that this legislation is not just timely, but essential as AI continues to transform various sectors, from healthcare to education and beyond. Now we have a CT News reporter interviewing Bob Duff outside the Connecticut Legislative Building. Hi, I'm here with Bob Duff. Senator Duff, would you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this bill, as well as are you optimistic for its prospects in the next session?
Of course, I was and continue to be a supporter of Senate Bill 2, which was the result of extensive efforts by Senator Maroney, who collaborated with legislators from almost 50 states to craft what we hope to be model regulation on AI. As we have seen time and time again, as technology progresses, so too must our laws and regulations to protect consumers while not stifling innovation. I believe that Senate Bill 2 balanced these goals. Senate Bill 2 would have allowed for innovation in the arena of AI while protecting against discrimination, deepfakes, and misinformation. As to why Senate Bill 2 did not pass, this was our first attempt at understanding and grappling with the nuances and future consequences of regulating an ever-changing and advancing industry. With Senator Maroney at the helm on this issue, including all interested parties in the conversation, I am optimistic that Senate Bill 2 will pass in the next legislative session. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Duff.
Hello, Senator Mayer. Would you like to take questions at this time?
Sure.
All right. Can I begin with, why do you support this bill?
I voted to support Senate Bill 2 when it passed in our chambers because, while AI has a lot of uses that hold potential, just as many of them are concerning. Deepfake depictions of individuals in compromising positions have been used to harm everyone from Taylor Swift to high school students. Deepfake information has misled the public on everything from election information to false quotes from real people. AI algorithms hold the potential to do good, but can also discriminate against protected classes and worsen the divides that we work to repair in our society. SB 2 reflected all of these negative realities while also fostering studies of how AI can be used to make our state departments more efficient. It also focused on creating training classes to help increase public knowledge of its benefits and drawbacks. It was through legislation developed with the input and support of many stakeholders.
Thank you. And why do you think it didn't pass in the most recent legislative session?
Well, Governor Lamont threatened a veto because he had concerns about the bill putting a chill on development of technology companies and companies wishing to use AI in new ways that the legislation did not support. He was concerned that it would be overly restrictive and harm our state's economy. But while I'm disappointed by this decision, as Colorado and California have recently passed legislation similar to CT's bill, I understand his reasoning and concerns, even as I disagree with them.
Are you optimistic that it will pass in the next legislative session?
I'm confident that State Senator James Maroney, if he's reelected, will continue his detailed and strong work researching AI and becoming an expert on the issue. With his leadership as Senate Chair of the General Law Committee, I'm confident AI regulations will find greater success in years to come.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Despite the broad support, the bill does face some opposition.
However, supporters counter that the long-term benefits outweigh these concerns, positioning Connecticut not only as a leader in AI, but also as a state committed to ethical and sustainable technological advancement.
Thank you for that interview and the surprise appearance from Senator Mayer.
So, a lot of our viewers are wondering, Pierce, what do the two of us believe should be done with the bill?
Well, we believe that Senate Bill 2 should be passed in the next legislative session because it's the best solution to the changing technological landscape.
Exactly. And we just saw Bob Duff say, as we've seen time and time again, as technology progresses, so too must our laws and regulations to protect consumers while not stifling innovation.
That's all from CT News for today. Thanks for tuning in.